Welcome back to Sema 360. Today is Tuesday. We are in event 4 of 4 for the day.
Yeah, last one. And again, so if you're just tuning in, I'm Dustin Jackson. I'm the owner of Bookie.
And I'm Ryan Hagan. I am the sales manager here at Bookie.
Yeah, and we're glad to be back at our final roundtable of the day. You guys, if you're just joining in, we've been covering the topic of customer acquisition and retention. If you've been watching us all day through some of our social media outlets, again, we're sorry if we're repeating, but Sema 360 is set up as roundtables for customers for people to come in and listen to it at different events. So we're actually airing the same episode 4 times. It kind of changes up organically as we're not scripted here. We're just kind of free flowing with some basic topics. So chances are you're going to hear something different. You may hear it a little bit different way. It may be more appealing to you or sound better to you this way. So we encourage you to still join in and listen to us. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. We were just sitting here talking. Sitting up here for 30 minutes and saying the same things kind of over and over again, gets tough. So we want to hear we would love to hear from you. If you got any questions, anything that we could talk about or whatever, we'd love to hear from you.
If you're on Facebook, Facebook Live, please jump in there in the comment section.
Drop us a comment, shoot us a message. If you got a phone number, shoot us a text, whatever. So we're not sitting up here beating a dead horse if you've heard it 4 times. So.
Right. Absolutely. We're getting a little, we don't want to get bored with ourselves either. So.
No, that's right. That's right. But you're never boring, Ryan.
That's so.
If you want to jump right in.
Yeah, man. Let's get back into. So what we've been talking about was getting new customers and retaining your old customers. I'm going to admit someone in here real quick.
Okay.
So tell me about some customer retention. What's the best tools Bookie has to help not only gain new customers, but then also in the back end, we'll talk about the retention of those customers. Let's talk about getting new customers.
So gaining new customers first can happen a couple different ways. You can acquire them organically through just doing good work, word of mouth. That's how things have been for the most part. Pre-internet, pre-social media days, it was all word of mouth. You had some advertising you could do, but even after that, so kind of pre-software, you still rely on word of mouth. You want to do great work. And one of the things that software can help you with is making sure that when you're sending out follow-ups after a job, when you're sending out a survey request or you're sending out a review request, you know pretty much right away if you're doing good work. And so that's going to help you acquire more customers organically. So if you're getting good reviews, if you're getting good survey responses, and you're putting out good work, you're getting more customers. No question about it. Those customers love to tell other customers about a good decision they made with doing business locally or whatever. And so that's going to help you gain more customers. Now, the other side of that is the paid ads or paying for customers. And most of that's done through social media ad campaigns or Google search, Google AdWords, Google ad campaigns, stuff like that.
That's definitely a big topic with all the detail groups. They are always talking about how you go about which ads, should you pay for, how long should you run the ads.
Yeah, and it's rightfully so. It should be talked about. There's no magic answer to any of those questions. It's really what works best in your market and to your business. We all have, I think, a slightly different approach to those things. The way it all ties together with the software, though, is we're able to go in there and track the traffic that these ads are generating, and that's where the importance is. So it's important to get your ads right, but if your ads are right and you're not tracking the results that they are generating, then you don't know if they're right or not. Right. You basically are managing on a whim, and you don't know if what you're doing, if you're shoving money into a hole that's not producing. By way of tracking ours, we can now, from our back office, set up our Google Analytics and our Facebook Pixel, and that will tell us what traffic is coming to the site. It will tell us how long they're sitting on each page. That tells us how deep these customers are getting into our online booking portal to see maybe if they're falling off, or if on a specific vehicle type we have a ton of drop. Well, maybe we have a package that's too high, or maybe we need to take a look at where that page is that they're falling off and see if there's something that we can change to continue that flow into a deposit paid. And
I brought up the site here just so you get a quick little look at how easy it is to put in those ID numbers.
Yeah, and for those of you that aren't seeing this screen right now, that some of you guys may be joining us live, we're going to share a video that's going to show a lot of these screenshots for you, so you're not in the dark. But the best way to do this thing would really just to be schedule a demo with you, Ron, so you could really see these things specifically, speaking to your business. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, I just wanted to show y'all real quick under the company profile. I mean, it's as easy as plugging in your Pixel ID and your Google ID, and now you are gaining those analytics that we talked about.
That's right.
You're getting the real-time data of what those ads are doing, and
absolutely,
you're able to kind of judge which ads work better for you. Maybe you did a little something different in one, posted one at a different time. But you're able to now track those.
Yeah, you can hone in on things that are working for you. If you have an ad that's really producing, it's sending a lot of traffic to your site, and then you want to continue that ad. But if you have an ad that just really didn't do anything, and you can see this specifically right here on your analytics page, if you're running an ad that's kind of not doing so good, which looks like we've done that on Sunday, we'll have to get with Madison about that. I think she's listening in. So Madison's our marketing director, and so we'll here at Easy In. And so we'll make sure we mention Sunday to her wasn't so great. And if she wants to join in and defend herself, feel free, Madison, if you're listening, to jump in here. But no, on a serious level, you can track those. You can track those numbers, and it's really imperative that you do that, because otherwise you're kind of throwing money, maybe throwing money away at ads that aren't producing, and without tracking it specifically. There's no way to calculate if you're trying to gauge it by how many messages you're getting, or gauge it by how many jobs you're really booking. If you're not tracking the estimates that you're not converting, you don't know the conversion rates, so you don't know how primed these leads are for purchase, and you don't know how qualified these leads really were. Maybe they're just window shopping and you don't know. And absolutely, if you're not saving that information as an estimate, so if you're not using software and you gave this guy a price and now you don't know, you have no way to retarget them. You have no way to know if when they come back, what price you gave them, and there's a whole different ball game there that this software solves that problem. Right. And so, we'll dig deep into estimates and how important they are, maybe at a later date, maybe on this episode. It doesn't matter to me, but it's extremely important that we go over these things and show the customer
through those estimates, through an anonymous estimate now, to target those customers, even though they might not be customers yet, they might just be window shoppers, but because of the information that we've got put into the website or into the program, they're able to retarget those through Facebook and other methods. But
that's right.
Directly target them with ads for your shop now. And
yeah, that's right. So when we talk about an anonymous estimate, and you can go ahead and pull one up. Basically, so with the booking site that you get with Detailed Bookie, if a customer comes on, they're allowed to kind of window shop your prices without keying in their information. So they shop anonymously. So that way they don't feel like they're giving you their information to see more. And we all like that idea that we can come in and shop for prices without feel like we got the salesman to run out there and try to pitch it to us.
Right.
And so they're able to go on your booking site and to get those prices. And so you can see as Ron's going through the process here of building an estimate, he hasn't given any information. When you get to the final stage and you selected all you put in your vehicle information, you selected the packages and add-ons you're interested in, you have an option now. You can save this estimate, you can book the appointment, or you can just close out the screen. Now, if you save the estimate, all it's going to prompt you to do is to key in your telephone number and your name, or an email address and your name.
I was already signed in on this, so it's not asking for that information just yet. But
that's right. So yeah, if you're watching along and wonder why it didn't prompt that, he was actually logged in. But it's going to create an account instantly with just that information, a phone number and a name. And now that information is saved for you. And what that does for the shop is now we can go in there and we see an estimate that's been saved, and we can trigger follow-up notifications that's going to go out automatically and incentivize that booking. So hey, we noticed you got an estimate 7 days ago. If we can answer any questions, or if you have any concerns, or would like any additional information, give us a call.
Right.
And so those are going out until that job is changed from estimate to scheduled job, or estimate to don't call me again.
That's right. And so you're reaching people that you've never even talked to before, potentially.
Absolutely, we are.
To your site, you can reach back out and touch them. I mean, that's a follow-up right there.
Absolutely, and that's key to gaining these new customers, because they may be window shopping. They may not be what we call like primed for purchase at that point. but they will be at some point. And if they've forgotten about you, if they came on and got an estimate, and maybe they're driving down the road a month later and they see another detail shop, and they just happen to whip in, and you haven't been talking to them for the last, you haven't been notifying for the last 30 days. They forgot about you, and they're going to go to the next person. They're ready to purchase that day, and they're going to go in there and get the job scheduled or get the job done, one of the two. So, but if you've been notifying them every 7 days and said, hey, we got an open estimate, the chances are highly likely when he's driving past, when he's driving down the road that 30th day and he's made his decision to get the detail done, he's going to use you.
That's right.
And that's for the ones that save the estimate. You have the other people out there that are anonymous that just close out of the screen, and that's okay too. It's not ideal. We would love for everyone to save it because then we have their information and we can we can notify them like we talked about. We can follow up. But for the ones that don't save and they just close the screen, we have Facebook Pixel set up to go back in and there's tracking their information. It doesn't give us their name and stuff like that, but what it does is it gives us the ability to retarget those customers or leads with ads. So like you, I'm sure that you've searched tennis shoe or searched for a golf club or something like that on Google or on Facebook or YouTube, and now all of a sudden you're bombarded with ads.
Almost like they're in your head or something.
Right, so basically our software does the exact same thing that Amazon or that Walmart or Lowe's, the same concept that they use to retarget their customers. We use the same thing to retarget our detail customers. So just the fact that they didn't save the estimate doesn't mean that it's a lost cause. It's actually a really good thing. It's a really good thing that we have it set up to where you can go in there and retarget them with ads. And then again, when they're primed for purchase, they're going to think Easy In this case, which is my business, but whatever your business is, they're going to be thinking that business name because they've been seeing it and they've been seeing it. So those things are really, really big about acquiring new customers.
That's right, and that is just one feature.
That's just
the software, which we're trying to stick to our features today, at least in the sense that we've got so many, and throughout the week we're going to be really digging deep into different other aspects, scheduling, pricing, packages, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it's exciting to be able to divulge this information to you, to have a platform that me and Ryan can sit here and basically do a 30-minute demo on and get really deep into some of this stuff that's important to you. If you're a detailer and you're in this business, this is important to you. This software is specifically designed to run your business. We know because 200 feet outside this door, we have a 12-man shop that's knocking down, $1,000 a day's worth of detail. So we know the problems that you have, and we know the problems that this thing solves. And so we know that you need this. If you do not have a software implemented in your business today, we know how important it is for you to get it.
And we want to make sure that you're not stuck trying to create, to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't want you to have a blank slate, to come in, to have to create your services, then create your packages, put the pricing on there. You're talking about hours and hours of work that we're taking off your plate.
Yeah.
We're giving you, not only default packages and the default pricing and the fact we've got dynamic pricing. So that kind of sets us apart, from the other software out there.
Correct. And the reason that we were able to do that was because this software was built to run a detail business. So we had to have these packages. We had to have these services. And it doesn't make sense to just deliver you this blank page when we already have it all set up. So why not just make it editable for you to come in and just say you're a new guy and you don't have any pricing. You can literally right out of the box use this software same day. As soon as you set it up, you can put it to work. Book your job.
Literally book a job, send an estimate, send an invoice, send a payment request.
Yeah.
Within minutes. Of opening up your software.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. There's no long drawn out process to get you using this software. It's basically just come on board with us. And press start. Go. It's simple as that.
Put your customer in there. Book a job, and repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat.
That's right. That's right. And it's just that simple. So, speaking to that level though, if you've been in business for 20 years or 10 years, and you got your pricing, and you know that this is what you want to offer to your customers, a couple things. We have an onboarding team on staff. That's going to help you get that pushed up. That's going to help you get that put onto your site. And we're not talking about days, weeks, months. We're talking about hours. We're going to have this thing up and running for you. It also gives you an opportunity. If you're sitting around and you say, man, I could just really want, this would be, I'm really looking for a good opportunity to go up on my price or to adjust my pricing. When you talk about switching to a software, this gives you that opportunity to go in and maybe raise your prices some, and then your customers see the reason. So when you send them a notification, or when you send a pay request and they're like, okay, that's a little bit higher than what it used to be, but you have that conversation that says, look, well, this is why. I've upgraded my company now. I'm using this software. I can track everything. You can rebook easily. You can see all the work that I've done. And this is my reason for going up. And for $39 a month, that's really not a tall order to ask,
And of course, $39 a month is when you purchase the year.
Yeah.
Which by far, you're talking about for the price of one detail, you're going to have a year's worth of software.
Absolutely.
If you just want to purchase it for the month, it's $49 still, an absolute steal.
And it's no contract. You jump on here, but let me just speak to that. So 100% every detailer that has come on with us as a paid user has absolutely stuck with us from the time they started. There's been zero customers leave us.
That's right.
And I don't know of any other software that can say that.
And the testimonials that I get to hear and get to pass along, it makes coming to work every day just so exhilarating, because you've got somebody telling you, man, a month ago I didn't make as much money as I made today.
That's right.
Because of this software. I made $1,700 this last quarter because I literally added a $1.99 fee to my mobile detail,
And dude, it just pumps me up to hear these things. It pumps me up because all the hard work that's gone into it, all the years that we've done, and what it done for our EZN here is, all I wanted to see was it go out to other businesses and get used, and to see people coming on and see people or hear people saying that to you, it's just validating, and it's just a motivating thing to hear these guys come on here and say, yeah, this thing works great, To
be able to talk a local guy into jumping on the software and letting us develop and get his packages right for me.
Yeah.
That right there, you think about competition, and in the detail business, I feel like competition really shouldn't be between the detailers. You guys should be on a page if there's several local guys, and that is what I'm finding through not only the Facebook groups, but just selling the software. Guys are like, well, I've got a group of people that we continuously talk about our prices to make sure that we're all pretty much on the same board, the same page.
Absolutely. And here's the reality of the situation is there's more cars and boats and motorcycles and ATVs and campers and airplanes than any of us and all of us combined can do.
Right.
So we're not competition. Just because we are, within 30 miles of each other, we are, we're in the same line of business, but it's no different than Walgreens or Rite Aid or CVS. You guys we're just splitting the load. Right. We can't possibly do it all ourselves, and we're not even going to try. But what we should do is have a really good understanding of who's around us and what prices are they offering and what services are they offering, and the software will allow for that. The software will allow us to compare pricing, apples to apples. Okay, instead of before where it was on paper or it's in my mind, and now the guy down the street doesn't have a clue what I'm charging because I don't even have a clue what I'm charging. So it's going to allow for that change in the industry, and that's something that the detail industry has been needing for a long time, and we're on the cusp of it. And matter of fact, we're a leading edge in that. So it's exciting.
It definitely brings up the professionalism of the business and of the industry. Mm-hmm. And guys are always trying to get hustled out of $20, $30, $100 on their details. Like, can you drop it down? It seems like it's a lot.
Yeah.
You see these invoices, guys. They're fully itemized. You see what you're paying for. All the services included, mileage charged for mobile, and it just adds that much legitimacy to your business.
Sure does.
And it squashes the whole flea market haggle, that they want to have with you, because you don't walk into Walmart and haggle over prices.
No, that's right. It takes that out of the ballgame. And the reason that people think that detailing is negotiable is because when you don't have a definitive price, it opens the door for them to negotiate. Or if you give them a different price each time they come, whether it's $5 or $50 or whatever, they are under the assumption that your prices doesn't matter, that it can change from day to day, and therefore they can manipulate it.
Absolutely.
If you give them the same price or the same list of services, and maybe you've gone up, but it's very clear, here's where I've gone up on my price, it's non-negotiable. It takes that out. Now, if you want to offer a free service to gain a detail or something like that, or or maybe you want to offer your loyal customer a discount, that's on you.
Sure.
But you're not subject to those negotiations, those typical negotiation issues or lowball issues, because the customer sees what they're getting. And just like you spoke to, nobody's going to Walmart and grabbing a $25 basketball off the shelf and offering them $20 at the register. And you know why? Because it's got a price label on it, and it's not negotiable. Okay, and so the same thing when you have your price listed on your site, it's not negotiable. It's a price tag, and that's what the price tag is for this list of services. Now, if you need a different set of services, we'll talk about that, but we don't, so.
Yeah, when you're paying $1,600 for a detail, for a ceramic coat,
yeah,
and you are able to look at this statement, look at this itemized invoice, you don't question whether or not this is, what services are being included, what am I paying for.
That's right.
You know what that price is, and you also know that the person coming in behind you can get that same replicated price.
That's it.
And so the person before them. And
that's it, and that's where the confidence comes in your pricing enough, and it adds to the professionalism that the professional front that you're pushing out. Right. So
we steered a little away from customer retention. I think that we can jump back into that.
Yeah.
And really, so we've talked about the different ways to acquire new customers, and I guess we were talking about how to keep your customers.
Sure.
Through all these different services, but specifically through notifications. That is a fantastic way to consistently follow up with your customer,
yep,
to be able to send out those surveys that we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got features such as, notes.
Yeah.
Notes on a customer, let's say you do mobile work and you want to go out to someone's house, and you're able to put in the notes, we've got a gate code there, there's a big dog in the back, make sure you close the gate, what have you. Those are able to be stored right there within the customer profile. So
absolutely,
every time you go do a job for that person,
yeah,
you've got the access to those notes.
And it again speaks to your customer service, where this customer never has to give you that gate code again, or never has to kind of give you that little nuance that's, don't let the dog out of the gate or whatever. And he just thinks you've memorized these things. He just thinks you've known it and you're just that great. But in reality, your software is working for you. Your software, you pull up this customer, you got to book a job for him. Oh yeah, man, this is his gate code, or this is where he keeps his key, or whatever. And it adds to that professionalism. It adds to their confidence in you. And those things that they can't see. Now, you do have notes that they can see. So say we're walking around a truck, we're doing a little pre-inspection or talking to the customer about the detail, and he mentions, hey, I would really like to get this dealership decal off the back or whatever. And so that's not a service we're going to charge for, but or maybe you do, but maybe in this one case we're not going to. And we're going to throw it in as a note on the ticket. Well, that customer can see that note. So when he pulls up his invoice, he's going to say, okay, remove dealership decal off the back. All right. He understands that you were listening. He understands that you're not going to forget this. And that's going to give them confidence in the conversation that they're having with you. You're listening and you're not worried about what's going on the next detail or the last detail. You're engaged with him. And so it just adds to that confidence within the detail. So, something simple as notes. I mean, that's a very simple thing, but you're not scrambling around looking for a pen or trying to pull up my notepad on my phone.
So before software, did you ever forget a gate code?
Dude, we forgot everything that was forgettable.
So you had to call the customer back once, maybe even twice.
Man, we forgot jobs. Forget notes. We forgot jobs. We forgot everything. Seriously, it's kind of cringeworthy now to think about how we managed. And here's the reality: is there's a million other detailers that are forgetting shit right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think it would mind me calling them out, but Jay Tonic, my buddy Joshua, put him on the software. That was one of his things. He's like, I don't want to lose a customer because I don't have it, on that schedule.
That's right.
And
that's right.
You lose a little bit of, that professionalism in that moment.
Big time.
If you're to lose that customer, they're definitely not going to be, raring to come back to you.
They don't have the confidence, man. And the schedule, with the follow-up reminders, whether it's reminding you or reminding the customer, or however, you have it set up specifically to your business. And by the way, a lot of that's already pre-set up. The majority, 95% of it's already set up for you. It's not something that you have to go in and do. You can go in and edit it if you want to. But these things will not allow you to forget things. Right. These things are set up. And the reason that we know that is because the software was built for a detail business that had these problems, that forgot a job, that forgot to do an engine bay on a full detail that the customer, requested or paid for that matter, or maybe forgot to do the car seat cleaning that they had requested. These problems were solved by the software because those problems existed and we needed an answer for them.
Right.
So
this
that's
isn't a retrofitted software that was going to be for general, construction company or grass cutting company, and we can maybe mold it into, software for detailing. This has every aspect of a detailer's day, plotted within the software.
Absolutely, it does.
Things such as a power hookup and a water hookup. If you're going to a mobile job, we've got the ability. If you ask them once, do you got power? You got water? Just input it in there. Now every time you go out there, you know what you're.
That's right. You know what you're getting into ahead of time. It allows you to be that much more prepared, which of course saves you money. Saves you time, which is inevitably what we're all looking for anyway.
Right, trying to maximize those details with the time that you have to make the most money, but still stay efficient, still make sure that we're getting everything taken care of.
That's right.
That's on the duration. I know we spoke about that a little bit yesterday, and we'll get into that a little bit further throughout the week. But we set it up for duration. So each job, each add-on has a duration of time that it should take you to do that.
That's right.
And by following that, not only do you able to schedule maximum jobs within that time frame, but you're also able to judge how much money you are either losing on a job.
That's right.
By taking longer than it should take, or or maybe you need to adjust them if you're finishing them in a quicker
than what you're allotted for. And I know that we probably shouldn't dig too deep here, but if ideally when you're doing detailing, and the whole issue, one of the major issues is pricing. And so when you can take and figure out what you want to make per hour, and you can put that duration in, the schedule is going to show you a representation of how long you have to do that job to be profitable to the point that you want to be. So we'll dig in really deep, and hopefully you guys jump back in and come see us for that episode, because that's going to get really cool.
It's going to be the best one that we do is when we
pricing. I mean, it really is. It really is. It's exciting, and I know that it's a major problem with most detailers is, if you're not struggling with prices, you're probably struggling with how to raise your pricing, or set up your pricing or whatever. And we're gonna get knee deep in that stuff, and it's exciting to see.
That's definitely where I feel like our software kind of just takes off running.
Sure, it does.
The fact that you're able to do all that through just this one software, complete total business management.
The beauty of it is it doesn't take a lot to get these things put in place either. So you get the software and you start using it. All it takes is creating the customer, book the job, put it on the schedule, and now all of this stuff starts to happen around you. So the notifications are coming up, your photo upload becomes available. Your add-ons are now where you can add pricing, you can send estimates, you can send price pay requests. I mean, it's just all this stuff starts happening around it, and all you've done is create a customer and book a job.
That's right. While you're detailing,
that's
you're
right.
having your business run behind the scenes.
That's right.
Through your virtual employee.
Yeah.
And the cost is minimal compared to actually hiring somebody to go call all these customers to follow up.
That's right.
Schedule,
and the money that's could potentially be left on the table with your own site fees, and these are things that when you set it up, and it's literally just plug in what you want to charge per mile. The system is designed to calculate the distance that you're traveling, and it's going to put it on the invoice. It's going to charge the customer for that.
Now you're it's a deposit request.
Absolutely.
Now make sure that those guys aren't going to back out or not show up because they've already got money in.
Right.
And so that incentivizes them to not bail.
It does. It gives them some skin in the game. And are you going to bail out if you got a couple $100 tied up into something? You're highly likely if the dog's sick to still come to that detail or whatever, because you got a couple $100 tied up into it, versus if you didn't have anything but a phone call. Maybe that dog justifies sitting at the house. I don't know.
Well, guys, on the dog note, we do got to kind of wrap this up. This is the 4th out of 4.
Yeah.
We've got some great stuff coming up for you for the next couple of days. We're getting excited. We're getting loose out here. We're finally starting to kind of get in
settle in.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It definitely does. We're happy to be here at Sema 360.
We are.
Love to be in Vegas, but things are what they are.
It's next best thing, Mobile, Alabama.
That's right. Absolutely. Post hurricane.
Yeah, that's right.
guys, come back and see us tomorrow. We're going to be on at 10, 1, 2, and 3 for half an hour apiece. You can go onto our social media page. You can find all that information there. You can go to Sema 360 and find more on Detailed Bookie there. Go check us out on the website, detailedbookie.com.